All right, let's give it a second, make sure that we're live. Man, I got a feeling that we are on the live stream. Here we go. Everybody, family, welcome back to another episode of Veterans Making a Difference. This is number 15. My honor to bring these things to you. Before we get started with my awesome guest tonight, reminder to please help out the algorithms, like, share, subscribe, all those good things to help out the channel, because every single penny is donated to the Amphibious Tractor Memorial being built at lovely Quantico, Virginia at the National Museum of the Marine Corps. I'll do all the work. You merely just got to give me just a little bit of your time and a couple clicks of a button. I got you. That's it. Done with the housekeeping notes. We are pressing the gas and moving forward, man. I got a fantastic individual on the other side over there. Just to give you, it's impossible for me to capture all her accolades and all the things she's doing, but the wave tops are that she is a champion bobsledder, someone who tried out for the Winter Olympic team. She's a world champion medalist. She's also a National Cup champion in bobsledding, just doing great things out there. In addition to, she's an active duty Marine Corps captain, currently on recruiting duty at the Western Recruiting Region. I don't know how the hell she crams all this stuff in. It's like 50 pounds in a 20-pound bag, but she's making it happen. Everybody welcome my new friend, Riley. I'm going to screw up her last name. Tejcek.
No, you got it. You got
Hell
it.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Mark. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's my honor. And thank you for carving out some time within your busy schedule to spend some time with me and the viewers, man. We truly appreciate it. Let's go. Time is of the essence. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, your upbringing, all that good stuff, please.
Yeah, quick wave tops. I was born in San Diego, but grew up. So Carmel, Indiana is home for me. My dad was a professional baseball player. My mom grew up dirt poor, turned herself into a very successful businesswoman. So they hammered down athletics, academics, like none other down my throat. Never thought I wanted to be a Marine because I never saw a female Marine ever, especially not in the Midwest. So not thinking that's within the realm of possibility. I wanted to be a CIA, FBI agent, and because I thought that was the only cool thing as a 17, 18-year-old. So naturally, I go to college in DC on my softball scholarship to George Washington University, studied political science, did some Russian, but the best thing I did during my time there was meet a Marine recruiter and decide to get involved in the platoon leaders course for juniors and seniors. So I was able to commission upon graduation. And then since then, I've been 6.5 years active duty serving in the beautiful United States Marine Corps.
Yeah, so just graduated from Expeditionary Warfare School, right?
I finished a tour there. So I actually didn't complete it. I was helping out. That was one of my billets. So PME is still in the works, but working on it nonetheless.
Yep. Got it. And I understand you're a logistician by trade, correct? Logistics officer?
Yes. So logistics officer by trade, 0402. And then currently right now, obviously, as you mentioned, I'm with Western Recruiting Region, focusing on officer procurement. So trying to find the next best Marine officers to come through our program.
Yeah, that's awesome. One of the best places to be stationed in anywhere is MCRD San Diego. 2 tours there, my home away from home. Love that place. I hope you're enjoying the beautiful installation and watching the magic of making Marines happen and the recruiting the Marines. So good on you, man.
Oh, absolutely.
I just want to understand something that, growing up in Indiana, the Tom Petty, she grew up in Indiana town, good looking mom, never was around, right? All that stuff. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm scratching my head. I'm like, here I'm talking to one of the, high level bobsledders in our country, and you're from Indiana. How does that work? I don't get it.
Yeah, it's the same connection that people are like, I don't understand. Very similar to Cool Runnings. They say Jamaica bobsled doesn't make sense. Basically, the sport of bobsled, at least in the United States, is one that is very intense, very high G forces, up to 5 Gs, very injury prone in neck and head, whiplash, ice burn, all those concussions, very serious. So it's not something that you want your young kids to do. That's not something that people are doing in grade. Generally, actually, the way our program is functioned and ran is we actually are recruiting people after they graduate college athletics. So we're looking primarily for like sprinters, hence the Cool Runnings, right? Like we're looking for people that are fast, that can translate down the ice. and then power sports. So there's another softball player and myself. We've had volleyball, lacrosse, football, a bunch of obviously track, swimming, like you name it. Sports that can definitely mold into power, speed, and grit really is what we're looking for. So I didn't touch a bobsled till I was 23, I
Oh,
believe.
wow.
So I played softball, like I said, through and through. That's all I did. And then it wasn't until later on in life that there was a glimmer of hope of, hey, the bobsled team is looking for the next best. And I decided to put myself out there and try a sport I had never done. And boy, was it a wild ride the first couple years and stuff like that. But through grit, determination, resiliency that the Marine Corps taught me, I was able to excel in the sport.
Wow, that you just really opened up my eyes. I had no idea that that's how it worked. How that makes perfect sense, right? Looking people with speed, with power, softball players, very very strong in their cores, very strong in their legs, and they can push that bobsled down. And what you're talking about a second, a difference probably between like the elites, right? It's like
Less than
every
that,
little bit matters. Yeah.
hundreds of a second. Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. Talk a little bit about so you cracked the code at 23, you start doing it, but you actually did it really well. You've medaled and things like that. Talk to everybody a little bit about your bobsledding career, please.
Absolutely. So it was 2020 when COVID hit that I decided that, you know what, I'm going to try out for the sport of bobsled because I didn't feel like I was done competing. I finished college athletics and I got through the basic school, which was an athletic experience in and of itself. Tactical athlete for sure. All Marines, I believe, are tactical athletes. But I wanted more. I wanted to keep competing. I was like, there's no way I'm 22, 23, and I'm finally mentally developed, physically developed as a female and like ready to take on more tasks, and my athletic career is over. So honestly, I wanted to join the Marine Corps softball team, but the COVID had shut it down. So
Right.
I continued to search for opportunities. So the sport of bobsled is extremely unique and incredible. There's only 2 tracks in the United States, Utah and Lake Placid, New York, up by Canada.
Yep.
And at the time I was given the opportunity to try out in Salt Lake City, Park City, Utah. And it was me and a bunch of people that had never done the sport before. We had to hit a certain criteria to even get invited of athletic standards. And it was sink or swim, figure it out. And so that
Yeah.
first year was a lot of sinking, not a lot of swimming. Um,
Yeah.
but it
That's good.
required a whole bunch of grit and resiliency. And everyone, we say in the military, no plan survives first contact, or Mike Tyson, you have a plan until you get punched in the face. And that's truly what bobsled was. Everyone came in excited. I want to, one day maybe go to the games or do all this stuff. And then you get knocked out unconscious going 90 miles an hour. You black out, you're scared. You're in a car crash for a minute that doesn't stop. Your skin is burning from the outside through the inside. Then you ask like what you really are about. Am I going to get up and do it all over again? And it was maybe because I had a screw loose, but more so the commitment and the dedication that the Marine Corps taught me truly, and
Yeah.
what that meant to be resilient and grit. I just love those 2 words because that's what you find in every single bobsledder, where you're asking people to be extremely uncomfortable, competing all the way down to negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit, competing. You're not getting paid for it, really. You're actually normally losing money. Majority of us are way under the poverty line that do this full time. And you're asking to compete for country and not for glory, because to your point, guarantee you not one person can name a famous bobsledder. I can,
Yeah.
but majority of people never can, or they know nothing about bobsled. And it's such an incredible sport of pushing a 400-pound bobsled down different tracks within less than a minute when you're going over a mile, upwards of 90 plus miles an hour. It's absolutely incredible. So there's so much discipline and skill and focus that goes into it. So my career, I started in 2020, knew nothing about the sport, went straight away to being a pilot because I was young and they weren't able to keep people in that position. It's an extremely also big financial commitment at that age as well. So we're looking at $60,000 a year, and you don't even know if you're good. And oh, by the way, you're getting like bruises and blackout and all this kinds of stuff, right? So it really takes a special kind of person. But
Yeah.
within my 3rd season, I was able to make the national team, which was incredible, and compete in my first world championships in 2023, January of 2023, which was phenomenal. The following year, competed in world championships in Germany. And then this past January, won my first gold medal in the North American Cup in Lake Placid, which was the height of my experience. World championships was amazing, don't get me wrong, but finally winning gold was something that I had been working on for 5 years, 4.5, but almost 5 years in the making. And so I am just so blessed to have been able to experience this, to be able to represent the United States, but also do it while serving active duty. And there's nothing more I want than to showcase how every single Marine truly is an incredible tactical athlete with the ability to excel in professional sport, and trying to create a pathway where more people can continue to compete and continue to excel and bring that camaraderie back to the core, but also demonstrate how our physical fitness is second to none.
Man, huge congratulations on, on the accolades and, your achievements out there. And you alluded to it, you're doing all this while you're on active duty, and, somebody who's a retiree on the other end this time, and, admiring, awesome folks like you still representing us well. I got to reflect on my time and say, that the jealous mistress is always going to get what it needs. That's the Marine Corps. How did,
Yeah.
how has this unfolded for you, especially being an officer
Mhm.
and doing these other commitments and stuff, and still trying, to stay on top of your game as a Marine? And did you face any turmoil during that process?
It's been incredibly difficult because I am constantly having two buckets, or two dads, if you will, bobsled and the Marine Corps, that sometimes have conflicting interests of what they want of me, right?
No
And
doubt.
so I always say, yeah, my number one commitment was the Marine Corps. I chose to raise my right hand, and I was in the Marine Corps before I ever did bobsledding. So the Marine Corps always comes first. And there has been times when my bobsled career has very much suffered because I will choose the Marine Corps every single time, willingly.
Right.
And so one key example was last year. I was deployed to Iraq from May to November of 2024. And that cut into bobsled season. That took out all my preseason training, but there was a chance to deploy, and you best believe I was going to take it, because my
Yeah.
Marine Corps career and my Marines come first before anything else, duty to my country. And then I'll figure it out after. Now, I just so happen to have almost my most successful season. And so I think maybe there's something to it, but I've had to alter my initial thoughts of what I wanted to do and what I wanted to be as a Marine officer. And it's been tough. But what I will say is I will always choose the Marines, and that is who my loyalty stands with. And it's the ability to try to empower others through that position and bring them with me. So I haven't spent as much time as I would like in the fleet as a logistics officer doing logistics things. But on the flip side, I've done every single thing and then some that the Marine Corps has asked of me. I've gone to the rifle range every single year for rifle and pistol. I've even gone to the gas chamber like done things that most even Marines on active duty won't
Yeah.
do. Right.
Try to dodge
I've
that
had my,
stuff.
yeah,
I
right.
do. I know. I'm with you.
Yeah, I did my deployment, and I've been asked that even when I'm gone competing, that I am judged the same against all my peers, whether I was there or not, which sometimes has helped me and sometimes has really hurt me and not being there. But
Yeah.
again, I look at it and I just feel like I've been so blessed with an opportunity that I owe it to the Marines to take it and give everything I have on the ice competing, but also to them. And there's no higher honor that I have than to give back and to serve them and share my experiences and what I think can be used to better the Marine Corps and better the lives of Marines from it.
Yeah, you just took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say, you can use these experiences, in a different manner, to go inspire, others to reach within themselves, and find that little extra maybe that they want to do. So that's very powerful. It is. It's really, really powerful. And I appreciate you sharing about the bobsledding and lightning, because it seems like every 4 years is about the only time that, that we really kind of were like, "Oh, bobsledding's on TV." Almost everybody I know is like, they watch it for the Winter Olympics. That and luge. Those 2
Yeah.
things, people are glued to it, and some people skiing, but, that's about the only time I pay attention to it. But for you to give us a peek behind the curtain on the attributes that are needed, to be successful at that level, and those traits, I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah, and that's what's frustrating about our sport for sure, is like we compete all season long just like anyone else. and we travel the world doing it. Our world championships is the Olympics. It's just called the Olympics every 4 years. And the unfortunate part about the sport is you will meet some of the most impressive athletes because they're balancing multiple things, because they can't only do bobsled and be successful. And because of, unlike some summer athletes, like the gymnastics team, right, the swimming team that everyone knows, that has all the endorsements. So I just really want to bring some attention as best as I can to anyone who's going to watch these upcoming games in February. Do your due diligence, follow these athletes, read up on their stories, follow them on social media, encourage them, because their stories are truly so impressive. Like, my teammates are some of the most amazing people I've ever met. And there's nothing I want more than for them to be in the spotlight and to just be absolutely praised for the incredible thing that they do when they know no one's watching.
Yeah. And how much longer do you think that you want to, pursue, your goal of, possibly
Yeah.
making an Olympic team? How much like what's kind of the shelf life?
That's a really tough question. For female athletes that are pilots in the bobsled seat, they generally want to get, everything's measured in quads. So quads is, every 4 years
Or
for the,
yeah.
and they say it takes about 4 years to even get decent. So they're going to want you around for 10 to 12 years, which is why when I was 23, that was so prime. And
Yeah.
you can go through your 30s. But as an officer, and as I continue to move up in the ranks, I know that decision's going to have to be made. I've already basically made it that the Marine Corps is going to come first. And that is something that, for me, my career in serving the Marines is more important. And as you get higher up in the ranks and there's more and more duties and
Yeah.
responsibilities, you just aren't able to do some of these other things. And I hate saying no, and you can't have no for an answer, but everything has priorities. And my priority for the longest time was, I did a sport that I feel that the Lord just blessed me with. Can I make it in this tight window and turn around? And if I can't, thank you, Lord, for the opportunity that you have given me and the ability, hopefully, to use that story to empower other people. And it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
bobsled.
Sure.
I tell Marines all the time, being a Marine gives you the tools and the toolkit to be successful at anything you want to do. So what is it? Do you want to go back to school and get another degree, or your college degree? Do you want to get your real estate license? Do you want to become a mother or a father? Right? What is it that you want to do? And there is zero excuse why you can't do that while being active duty, because truly the Marine Corps sets you up for success with how it teaches you these traits and principles in order to be successful.
Yeah, I'm not betting against you. I mean, I know that, the higher up you get, the more the jealous mistress wants from you. I get that, but I'm not going to bet against you. I think that you will absolutely, you put your heart and your mind to it, that you will, crack the code. Let's just say, even if you said, right, like, hey, I want to do it, but I can't do it because, this is my primary mission. I get it. But the fact that you made it to that level, to medal, in the national, in the North American Cup, to place in the worlds. I mean,
Yeah.
you have nothing. You can hold your head high for the rest of your life, knowing that you did those things.
Yeah, I think that there's this common trend in society of, I'll only be happy when, I'll only be happy if. And a lot of those
Yeah,
things, yeah, deal with
perfect.
accolades, right? Getting to this rank in the military, or, going to Olympics. Like, I'll only be, a good athlete if I make the Olympics. And I look at the people that I'm competing against, right? And I'm ranked top 25 in the world right now, like, to your point. And so I don't want to get so blindsided on one small thing and with tunnel vision that, to your point, I don't look around and look at all the blessings. And that's how I feel. I think when I won that gold medal, it solidified everything that I wanted. I was the best at something. And there's so much work that went into this to achieve that moment. So I truly feel more blessed and satisfied than anything. If I make the Olympics, amazing. If I don't, amazing, because it's the story that the Lord has given me, and the ability to do multiple things at once, that I think makes it unique and special. But what I will say is, I care too much about my country to not have the absolute best go. So if I am not the best, then I will more than happy shake your hand and congratulate you, but you got to get through me first. So if you beat me, I'm going to shake my hand, and
Yeah,
I'm going to be the biggest cheerleader right there.
there you
And know
go.
that, yeah, the Team USA is going to be squared away and solid with who they have. And if it's me, I would hope my teammates would do the same. And I think if we foster that kind of community, we're going to be extremely successful.
Yeah, it's all about the team,
Yeah.
country before self. I get it, but I
Always.
know, and yeah, that's good. And then, so we covered that, and then there's something else that you've done recently. I want to make absolutely sure that I give you the opportunity to share. You've recently become an author, and rather than write a book about your experience trying to be on the Olympic team and your bobsledding career, balancing out active duty, resilience, da da da. You wrote a children's book. Tell everybody about it.
Yeah, I have it.
Yeah, go
Right
grab it.
here. Yeah, let me just pull it out for you. Here's my book. It's called If You Can Dream It, Be It. And it's a children's book. And what you might notice on this front cover is something that is really near and dear to my heart, is a young girl viewing a female Marine. That was a part of my story. I never saw it. And so what this book really is about is a young girl trying to figure out what she wants to be when she grows up, and is in a dilemma because she has no idea. So she goes throughout her day interviewing people in her life that is really important to her, that she looks up to. And she realizes that, man, I want to be a professional athlete, and I want to be a Marine, and I want to be an author, and I want to be in pageants and give back to my community. But society was telling her, you can only do one thing, and trying to kind of put her in a box.
Yeah.
Until she has the realization through her mom, and it's not in here, but through her faith, that there is no limitation. So she goes back to school, and she talks about how she's going to dream big and be bold and courageous and become all these things. And despite the initial pushback and making fun of from her classmates, she becomes determined and do it. So years later, she achieves all these things and is able to, most importantly, at the very end, tell the story and give back to others. Because if she can do it, you can do it. So if you can dream it, if you can see it, if you can visualize someone else doing it, there's no reason why you too can't achieve these things. So this book is near and dear to my heart. Obviously, I wrote it, but more importantly, to touch the children that are 4 and 8 years old, that are developing their mind and their memories and realizing what limitations does the world have set for them. And I'm trying to knock some of those walls down and let people know that, hey, the world is full of endless possibilities. You can be in a male dominated role, but still be beautiful and wear a dress, right? You can be an organization that eats crowns and is dumb, but still have the literacy capability to write a book. And the biggest blessing to me is that I've seen young men and women get a hold of this book and eyes light up when they realize that they can do certain things in this world. And nothing brings me more tears. And I can get emotional when we talk about it because I can't believe it. But seeing
Good
young
on
women.
you, man.
Yeah, seeing young
I
women.
sense the passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so good. So this is actually truly one of my highlights of my career. If you said what is something that you're the most proud of, it's getting this book in the hands of young men and women in the US, and hopefully impacting them as much as I can.
One more time, hold the book up so everybody can get a good picture of it. I want to make sure I got it good. Okay. If you can dream it, be it. Everybody can see that. Again, Riley's title card is there. You can order the book on Amazon. And what I would recommend is that, that if you do purchase it and you're an adult, when you get done with it, pass it on, right?
Yeah.
Like pass it on to another family or pass it on to another adult to get it in the hands of, of children, right? Donate it to a school, something like that. And you can order that on Amazon. Also, Riley is very, very active on Instagram. It's real easy. It's at Riley Tejcek. Yes, I got it right again. She has a huge following over there, and she's got links to her books, and and you can follow her bobsledding tributes, her promotions, and her awards, and her giving back. Most importantly, giving back through her church and other efforts like that. So you're a great human.
No, I appreciate it. Just trying to make this world a better place, be a strong Christian woman that just loves on as many people as I possibly can, and influence people in a positive way. I want to put a smile on someone's face every time I meet them. I want to continue this like train of believing in people and themselves and doing things that they never thought was possible, and then using that to then give back to others.
Yeah, your energy is contagious and it's very positive, and that's one of the primary, attributes that I look for, in folks that come here, and want to share, with our audience and our veteran community and our families. So I admire it, man. I respect it, and I'm very grateful for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Before we close out, I always let my guests finish it up. So I'll be the good senior enlisted, advisor, nudging the good captain on the other end, over there. Don't forget, to say shout out to your family, your spouse,
Yeah.
your sponsors. So the floor is yours for shout outs and closeout, ma'am.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for that. What I want to say to each and every one of you is that the veteran community is so special. There's less than 1% of people that decide to serve. And I just want you all to know that we are family. Sometimes we try to divide and fight amongst ourselves based off of branches, experience, deployments, all that stuff. I just want to remind our community that we are one. We are stronger together, and we should be continuing to uplift and support one another. I wouldn't be where I am today without my father God, and I just thank him and his love for me through my Christian faith. My fiance, who's a Royal Marine, who is freaking incredible, that's asleep right now. Danny is just the light and love of my life that continues to encourage me and keep going. And like I said earlier, to my mom and dad, who continue to grow me into the woman I am, and my sister that uplifts me. And she's a lawyer, she's a smart one, so I decided to join the Marine Corps. I have too many people to thank, incredible sponsors that have stuck with me, people who have believed in me when sometimes maybe I didn't believe in myself, and I just can't. The list goes too long to thank. The main thing I want to wrap this up by saying is, you may be interviewing me based off of my accolades, but there are so many people that are responsible for it. I wish my name wasn't on it. I wish it was the names of everyone, the Marines and people that have believed in me and helped me get to where I am. But I'm going to do them a solid and always give my heart to everything. Always talk to podcasts, no matter how many people listen, with the intent to give back and to love on as many people as I can. So Mark, thank you so much for having me, for sticking with me through my different connectivity and work schedule. And I just really appreciate you and what you're doing for our community.
Yeah, and I appreciate you coming on and sharing, and just and laying it down, and being just a humble, shining example to folks. It's tough, it's tough enough just being a Marine, but then to be one of 7%, which is females, and in a Marine Corps that is just very much full of machismo and all war fighting, right, and all those things. You are finding a way, to excel within our ranks, and it's my honor, to be a graybeard on the other side, watching, you continue to serve and shape and mold the next generation of Marines, man. I appreciate what you're doing. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. To the community out there, we're going to wrap it up for the evening. By the way, I'm going to Jamaica Thursday, so you won't see me for a while. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness. But I thank you guys for your continued support of what we're doing over here, and tune in to Veterans Making a Difference number 15. I love you guys, and thanks for everything. And Riley, just hold tight while I grab your track. Okay. Have a great one, everybody.